everyone, welcome back to another Sun Moon TCG video. My name is Bodhi, and today we're going to be talking about Solgaleo GX from the Sun Moon expansion, alongside Talonflame from the Siege expansion and Garbodor from the Breakpoint expansion. Before we get into Solgaleo itself, we should probably take a look at its evolutions and what they do. Solgaleo has two Pokemon that it evolves from, Cosmog and Cosmoem, both of which are Psychic types. Cosmog is a 60 HP Pokemon that has a colorless attack to draw one card. Cosmoem is a 90 HP Pokemon that has a colorless attack that switches itself out of the active position. Neither of these cards are particularly exciting in any way, which is why we'll talk about the options to bypass Cosmoem altogether and to avoid our Cosmogs being knocked out in the Decklist portion of the video. Solgaleo GX is a massive 250 HP Metal type Pokemon with weakness to fire and a 3 retreat cost. The ability, as you can see on the screen, allows you to switch your active Pokemon out for free, without fear of any status conditions or the need for many switching cards in your deck. Solgaleo's attack, Sunsteel Strike, deals a huge 230 damage for 3 energy, knocking out pretty much every Pokemon in the game. Where Solgaleo has its highest potential, however, is with Soul Burst GX, the GX attack. This attack allows you to bypass the normal ideology of single energy attachments, and attach 5 energies in one turn to any of your Pokemon in any way. We'll talk more about this ability and how to use it, his GX attack, and Sunsteel Strike in the deck building combo portion of the video. Let's talk about the two potential combos I can see for Solgaleo GX in the Sun and Moon metagame. The first option features Talonflame as the starter Pokemon of the deck, aiming to search for pieces to power up Solgaleo on your second or third turn. And the second option features a more traditional Garbodor line, in order to protect yourself a little better against ability-heavy decks. I have chosen not to feature Lunala GX as a potential partner for this deck, as I am yet to totally figure out if they share similar potential. For more information on Lunala and Solgaleo together, search Rare Candy on YouTube, the Pokemon TCG site, as they have a video about it. The first deck list we're going to talk about revolves around wanting to start with Talonflame. Talonflame is going to hopefully be your active Pokemon in the majority of your games, giving you 130 HP Pokemon with free retreat and a very strong attack to protect your Cosmog while you set up your strategy. Talonflame will be getting us mostly rare candies in this deck, as well as cards like Ultra Ball, Solgaleo GXs, supporters like N and Hex Maniac to disrupt your opponent, and Max Potion to clear any damage off of our Pokemon. Pairing Talonflame with 2 Shaman EX is going to allow us to trade into additional resources and draw into additional cards that we cannot get with Talonflame all of the time, as we will need to be using Nest Balls and Ultra Balls early on in the game in order to have enough Cosmog on the bench to avoid falling behind. Once you have managed to evolve turn 2 or 3 into Solgaleo GXs with Rare Candy, you can then free retreat your Talonflame or use Solgaleo's ability Burning Road to switch another active Pokemon. Then use Soul Burst GX to attach 5 Metal Energy from your deck to hopefully 2 Solgaleo. This gives you 2 fully powered Sunsteel Strikes starting from the 3rd or 4th turn. Alongside regular attachments for your turn, you will be able to prepare a 3rd Sunsteel Strike to take your final 2 prizes should these Sunsteel Strike take 4 prizes for you. This strategy feels like the best version of the deck that I've come up with over my theory discussion. Before I get my hands on all of the cards, however, and with further testing into Sun and Moon coming on our channel, you'll definitely see plenty of games with this deck, and we will keep our deck lists updated for you guys as we go along. The second and final deck list and combination we're going to talk about revolves around playing a slightly slower setup than the previous. With this version of the deck, we are going to be using Garbodor to prevent our opponents from using their abilities, but not using Talonflame or Shaman EX to prevent our opponents from taking easier prizes and getting 2 prizes from Shamans. This deck is quite like the Greninja variants that want to forego Talonflame in order to start with multiple Froakie on turn 1. As such, we are going to be playing lots of Nest Ball and Repeat Ball, and limited Ultra Balls as they are only searching for Solgaleo GX in this deck. The deck will also play much more Disruption than the previous version, including cards like Ace Trainer and potentially even Bursting Balloon to add damage to your opponent's field. Solgaleo will still be using Soul Burst GX in this deck in order to set up the other Solgaleos, but with more Disruption and the addition of Garbodor, you will really be able to slow down your opponent. With this build, I would definitely recommend testing a bunch of games before making a concrete decision about its viability, but with lots of Greninja lists in both Standard and Expanded opting to forgo Talonflame for this kind of strategy, I can see how it will be very successful going forward. Before I go, I want to quickly talk about the weaknesses that I can see in these decks that I've mentioned to you guys, as well as the weaknesses of Solgaleo as a whole. Solgaleo is a Pokemon that is weak to fire, and with Volcanion remaining popular, you will surely see a difficult matchup against the deck. Solgaleo is also reliant on its basic form, which has a very low 60 HP for the first few turns of the game. If decks like Decidueye become popular, then you will definitely have a difficult time protecting your Cosmogs early. Finally, the deck relies on hitting all of the right pieces in order, which isn't an easy thing to do. This deck feels very much like Greninja in that aspect, where if you can weather your rough early game, you'll be able to bypass most of your weaknesses and have a fantastic mid to late game doing 230 damage every turn. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Make sure to check out our social media below, as well as our website, which has been revamped for the 27th season and beyond. My name is Bodhi Cutler. You can find me on Twitter at BODEHHH, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks very much, guys.